Hey guys, Christian from Shasta Films back here again today doing another movie review. And if you haven't seen the last one, be sure to check the description for that, as well as links to all of our social media sites and all of our short films, and actually my other channel, Chris Vlogs. So once again, go check all those out in the description. And then if you like the content, be sure to leave a like and hit subscribe for more in the future. And like last time with the movie reviews, this will have a non-spoiler and a spoiler section. So I'll kind of let you guys know when we go into which one, so you can know when to click away or when to stay or whatever. So I kind of like to have something there for everyone, just in case there's people that don't want it spoiled and some people that just don't care or have already seen it and just want to hear an opinion. So, and speaking of opinions, remember that everything I say in this video is strictly my opinion, not fact or anything, just purely what I feel about the movie. So let's go ahead and get started then with the non-spoiler section. We'll start off with the bad aspects of the movie. It really watched too much like an actual MMORPG, so like there was very little story, just completely filled with action. It was honestly like almost watching someone play a video game, but like they're silent, like the player is silent and you're just kind of watching this all happen. It's more like a really long cutscene is actually all it really is, to be honest. And then, I mean, you don't really remember any of the characters' names. Like you go throughout the movie, you're like, oh hey, these guys are pretty cool, but I have no idea what their names are, so you're just kind of like, oh, okay, that works. And, the main roles, really anyone in the movie didn't have all that great of acting, to be honest. It was kind of disappointing just overall. And the plot was really confusing and really boring. So that was huge turnoff for me. I did not really enjoy that movie all that much. But there were a couple of good sides to it, which I'll talk about right now. It had really amazing CGI and special effects. Like, their spell casting looked amazing. The battle scenes were pretty cool. The orcs actually looked somewhat decent. And it looked, like I said, it looked great. It was just they did not have any good storytelling at all. So there's not really anything else to speak of, other than it did also kind of have this appeal to like most World of Warcraft fans, people that play World of Warcraft and enjoy it. It kind of had more an appeal to them than other people. So, or just anyone that's really into fantasy had an appeal to them too. So that's it for the non-spoiler section. If you guys don't want to have any of this movie spoiled for you, I would suggest clicking away now. So to get started again, I'm going to start off with the bad aspects of it. So there was really no consistent story or plot in this 2-hour-long film, like I mentioned before. Like, they would start off talking about it was almost like a quest line, honestly. Like, going back to what I said earlier about it kind of watching like an MMORPG, it felt like a quest line. Like, you'd have one goal, and then in about 20 minutes, you'd have an entirely new one, and it just kind of kept changing, and it was kind of awkward to watch, really, because usually when you're watching a movie or anything like a TV show, there's like one consistent plot and one consistent goal, maybe a few other things along the way. There's no like, okay, here's a goal, we met it 20 minutes later, here's another goal, met it 20 minutes later. It keeps kind of repeating that. Like I said, it's too much like a video game. It really is, and it's hard to get along with, really. It's hard to enjoy, and it's like I said, it's basically like a quest line, so it's almost like they're trying to create a multiple plot structure, but without like maintaining layers of plot. They're just like going from one to the next rather than building. So it was kind of interesting, and like I said, it would literally last for like 20 minutes each plot line, and then it would switch to a new one. It was a big deal. It was weird. So, and then along with no consistent story or plot, there was no main protagonist either. Honestly, like pretty much any main character you see in that movie, you can list as a protagonist for that film. It was so weird. Like, everyone, even, let's see here, you've got the main orc from the village who betrays his clan, the female orc that's captured, the wizard, I think it was a paladin. I can't remember what class he was supposed to be, but pretty much like any main character you see in there can be considered a protagonist, and it's like none of them is a definitive protagonist. It's, once again, like an MMORPG, where it's like you have a whole group of characters rather than like one person that kind of rises above, or not really rises above the rest, but like the one person that experiences change, really. So it was, I don't know. Once again, the whole movie is just too much like an MMORPG, and it was kind of like a tech show too, honestly, with the fact they were just kind of focusing on CGI the whole time, really, or just like the look of the film. And then every aspect of this movie, once again, was either CGI/special effects driven or action driven, which means there was basically no story. And while that's really cool and it looked awesome, it's only enough to keep someone engaged for about 5 to 10 minutes. Like, I was snooze fest after that first 10 minutes. I was still watching. I didn't actually fall asleep, but I was bored for that full 2 hours because all you're really seeing is these fight scenes. And yeah, you're hearing all these people talk and all these different creatures talk, but you can't really understand what they're saying and follow what's going on in the story because there's nothing to follow. It's just so incoherent and random, and it's just so confusing. And I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that. And now for the good parts of the spoiler section is once again the CGI and the special effects. And I almost don't want to consider this a pro. I almost want to consider this a con because they spent so much time in the special effects and the CGI that you could tell that's all they put their time into. If they'd put even like a slight bit of time into actual storytelling, it would have turned out much better. And the thing is, like, the looks of it honestly just put the game to shame. It's like I don't even want to play the game now because I've seen some of the graphics from it, and they're so terrible compared to the movie. Like, not even just that, but like actions too. Like, the movie really just kind of put the game to shame, in my opinion, in terms of looks. Maybe not necessarily like overall feel, because of course, playing a game is much better than actually watching one. So I guess that would be kind of the difference there. But like I said, graphically, the movie destroyed the game hardcore, and it's just kind of funny to me, honestly. But and once again, if they had spent like even just a little bit of the time that they put into that special effects and CGI, they could have easily told a much better, more coherent story and made it much more enjoyable. And honestly, I'm not really sure how this movie got a 7 out of 10 rating anywhere, but I would still recommend watching it just for the experience. Watch all bad movies just so you can get that experience and then judge for yourself. Just because someone says it's a bad movie doesn't necessarily mean it is. So it's always good to check it out for yourself anyways and watch at least once. And like I said, watch it at least once, but any further than that, I wouldn't really care for or recommend it. So I never plan on rewatching that again. I will not even give that a second chance because it was so bad. But anyways, thank you guys for watching today. Once again, if you like the content, be sure to like and subscribe for more in the future. Check all the links in the description as well, and check out all of our short films too. So once again, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you all for joining in. Peace out.